What's going on, guys? This is John Zakari, and today I'm coming at you with the first in a series of videos detailing my thoughts on the latest round of console wars that just kicked off with the launch of PS4 and Xbox One. As one of the few people I know who owns all of the next-gen systems, and the holidays right around the corner, my friends and family have been asking me what console they should purchase either for themselves or for someone else this holiday season. While I love any discussion centered around gaming, here's the thing I don't like. The question I'm always asked typically goes something like this: John, which is better, the PS4 or the Xbox One? To which I reply, oh, you're not interested in the Wii U? Most people aren't even considering the Wii U as a next-gen option, and I don't really blame them, as most gaming discussions online, or even on television, don't consider it either. So, as someone who owns all three next-gen consoles, I'm going to give the Wii U its due and tell you why you should consider going with Nintendo for your journey into the next generation of gaming. And before I get started, as a quick service announcement to the Nintendo fanboys watching this video, this isn't going to be just some blind praise for Nintendo. I am going to be going over the pros as well as the cons of the system. So with that said, let's start with what many people consider to be the biggest downside to the Wii U. The thing that keeps it from being widely considered a next-gen console, and that's the power, or lack thereof. I'm not going to go into a parts and performance breakdown or anything like that, but it should be noted that anyone looking for a more hyper-realistic gaming experience down the line probably won't find what they're looking for on Wii U. What consumers need to understand though is that while the Wii U may not be as powerful as the Xbox One or PS4, that doesn't mean you're not going to find amazing looking games on the console. More often than not, it really comes down to how well developers can take advantage of all the hardware. For example, as these past weeks marked the launch of the PS4 and Xbox One, it also marked the release of Super Mario 3D World for Wii U. And while the PS4 and Xbox One exclusive games may look more realistic and feature a higher level of detail, Super Mario 3D World is still the most visually appealing to me out of all of these new titles. Sure, it doesn't have crazy physics or amazing lighting effects, but just look at it. It's awesome! Another one of the console's setbacks has been the lack of online functionality and maintenance for Wii U games. Again, while games like Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate prove that the Wii U is capable of a stable online gaming experience, most third-party developers have all but given up on providing the Wii U versions of their games with online play. As many Wii U versions of third-party games often see poorly maintained online service, or even have the online functionalities of the game completely removed. So what I'm getting at here is that as time goes by and we get deeper into this next-gen life cycle, there will probably be less and less multi-platform titles on Wii U. The thing is though, while weakening third-party support would likely be the death sentence for the Xbox One or the PS4, Nintendo has more than enough franchises in their first-party wheelhouse to maintain a successful console. And they're making really smart moves with developers who actually are interested in the Wii U. So let's talk a little bit about Nintendo's first-party games. As if you decide to buy a Wii U, you're really investing in the Nintendo experience. One of the things that has made Nintendo my favorite video game developer for all these years is that they never compromise their vision. They aim to innovate while giving people the games they love, and Nintendo rarely looks to copy what others are doing. In fact, more often than not, the opposite is true.
Start a revolution, a new way to play on PlayStation 3. Start being part of the game like never before.
Now sure, this mindset has put Nintendo behind the curve on things like entering the HD gaming space and providing online experiences, but it also has ensured a level of game quality that is unmatched. Think about it, can you remember the last time you played a horrible Mario game? Okay, well, that one doesn't count. Oh, come on, no. Alright, there have been some not so great games tied to the Mario name, but the core Mario experience is consistently enjoyable even after so many years. And in a time when many developers are playing things incredibly safe, Nintendo is actually taking some big risks, like by reviving the Pikmin franchise with Pikmin 3 that launched last summer. And Pikmin 3 is another example of a Nintendo game that looks great, but more importantly, plays great. And that's what I see as Nintendo's main goal for their games: to first create an amazing gameplay experience and focus on the other elements after. It seems like fanboys want to get all caught up in these arguments about processing power and resolutions, like I discussed before, but in my opinion, if the gameplay isn't fun, I'm just not going to enjoy the game no matter how good it looks. Since Nintendo has so many AAA franchises to work with, they have wisely enlisted help from reputable studios to help develop some of these titles in order to have a decent amount of games to spread throughout the year. Such is the case with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, that is being developed by Retro Studios, who developed Donkey Kong Country Returns, and that game's coming out in February. Nintendo has also made moves to acquire some awesome exclusivity deals, such as one with Mario's greatest rival, Sonic, and has procured the Blue Blur's latest adventure, Sonic Lost World, as a Nintendo exclusive. If you saw my impressions video for The Lost World a few weeks ago, you'll know that initially I wasn't too impressed with the game, but it's grown on me as I've given it more time. And to me, it's some of the best 3D Sonic gameplay since Sonic Adventure 2. And while we're on the subject of Nintendo's smart decisions, let's talk about how they've been rectifying some of their previous mishaps. I still think Nintendo is leaving something to be desired in the online play department. I just really wish Super Mario 3D World had online multiplayer. But they are starting to widely embrace other online components, such as downloadable content. In fact, the Wii U was home to one of my favorite pieces of DLC to come out this whole year for any game on any platform. New Super Luigi U was a great example of DLC done right. Luigi gets to break his Player 2 moniker with his own adventure, featuring over 80 levels that force the player to move fast as you start with only 100 seconds on the clock. Also complete with new gameplay mechanics and a new playable character, all for the low price of $19.99. And of course, fanboys like me were also allowed to wait longer and pay $10 more for the collectible retail version. Either way, that's value.
You made it!
If you're relatively in tune with the gaming world, then you'll know that high-definition gaming has been the standard for some time now, and this transition has resulted in developers reviving old games and giving them a visual upgrade to have them optimized for HD TVs. These remastered HD versions have been a bit hit or miss though, as it's up to the developers to decide what in the game remains the same and what gets changed. And those decisions don't always sit well with the fans. Since Nintendo was late to this HD party, they haven't had the chance to remaster one of their own games until recently. If you haven't heard, The Legend of Zelda Windwaker HD is quite possibly the best HD upgrade seen yet. The cel-shaded graphics that were so controversial upon its initial release look stunning in HD, and the core components of the game remain mostly intact. This game has been so well received that Wind Waker HD and the systems that come bundled with it have been widely attributed for the significant boost of Wii U sales as of late. It's hard to think that a re-released version of a 10-year-old game could have this big of an impact, but this one is just that damn good. When you look at the games I've gone over so far, you can see why Nintendo has its family-friendly reputation. And while this often is a good thing, many gamers who consider themselves, quote, hardcore gamers, often refer to the Nintendo platforms as the kiddie gaming consoles, and that's where I'd like to discuss one of Nintendo's newest friends, Platinum Games. I've already talked about the Wonderful 101 at length in my review for the game, but I can't say it enough. If you consider yourself one of these hardcore gamers, then you should definitely check this one out. The game keeps the cartoony charm that's common amongst Nintendo games, but the game requires the lightning-fast reflexes and perfectly timed attacks that you'll find in most action games. If I had to pick one Wii U title that I'm most disappointed about flying so far under the radar, it's gotta be the Wonderful 101. It was one of the most unique gameplay experiences that I've encountered in a long time, and again I stress that anyone who is watching this who owns a Wii U and is looking for a challenge needs to pick this one up. At this point, most of the games I've gone over are currently available for the Wii U. Except for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, you could go out right now and pick up any of these games. So some may still be saying, Johnny, these do seem like some impressive titles, but I'm still looking for more of those hardcore games. And the child-centered themes get old. I need some more adult overtones. Luckily, this generation is just getting started, so maybe the Wii U is bringing what you need over the next year or so.
No one said you could touch.
If you're looking for something more adult, it doesn't get much better than the sassy, scantily clad Bayonetta. The original Bayonetta was hands down my favorite action game of the past generation, as I just love the over-the-top action and violence, and it does not seem like the second installment, exclusive to the Wii U, is toning anything down, as from the gameplay I've seen so far, it seems that Bayonetta's angel slaying methods have only grown more sadistic with time. And for me, it makes 2014 still seem so far away. With this being the second action game by Platinum coming exclusive to the Wii U, it seems to me that if you're an action game fan and you don't have a Wii U, you're really missing out. And Nintendo still has two more major blockbusters planned for Wii U next year, Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. I'm still crossing my fingers in hopes that they change the title of the newest Smash game though. Remember how earlier I criticized the Wii U's lack of online emphasis? Well, both of these titles will contain online play, and I'm extremely excited about both of them as Mario Kart Wii was really the only game on Wii I played online, so I can't wait to get back into it with the latest installment. Super Smash Bros. Brawl on Wii also had online play, but if you played it you were probably displeased with the game's online infrastructure. Thankfully, the producer of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U has already acknowledged that players were displeased with the online functionality of Brawl, and has promised improved online play for the newest entry in the series. Even though, like I stated, many third-party developers aren't doing much to build up the Wii U's online community, with these two titles, next year I may end up doing a good majority of my online gaming on the Wii U. Now, usually talking about Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Would be the ideal place to wrap up a Wii U discussion, but I still haven't mentioned my personal most anticipated Wii U title. At this past E3, we got a trailer for Monolith Software's newest title, an action RPG simply called X. While we still haven't gotten much new information about the game, it seems to be at least a spiritual successor to Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. And for those of you who don't know, Xenoblade became such a cult hit that used copies of the game were easily snatching as much as $100. This was until the controversial reprinting deal with GameStop went into effect, where you can now buy copies for around $70. This game looks like it's going to be a huge time sink for me, and I can't wait. Well, that just about wraps it up for this video. I hope I did a decent job of making a fair argument for the Wii U. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and subscribe to my channel for future next-gen gaming videos. Also, be sure to share your thoughts on the Wii U and the newest console war in the comments. As always, I'm John Zakari, and remember, whatever video game investments you decide to make this holiday season, the most important thing is that you enjoy them. Thanks for watching.
We already have a Wii, Sweetiekins. Here's you. Wii U is a total upgrade, Mother. And did you get younger? It has Super Mario 3D World, Legend of Zelda, the Windwaker HD, and Rayman Legends. Oh, yeah. And it comes with 2 free games. Hot button popcorn, that's a deal.
Well, I guess it's better than nothing.